This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Good morning, Rabbi. We're going to continue on the topic of the various miftahs, the various pronunciations. But we're going to speak first a little bit about the Parsha, because we know the Shiur writes in the Tshuva that dikduk, grammar, is like chardal, is like mustard. How is dikduk like mustard? So he said, miyutun yafe v'ribuyin kasha. A little bit is good. Too much of it is, could get a little bitter. So just a little on the Parsha. The Medrash tells us at the beginning of the Medrash Rabbi on Parshas Chayei. Says the Medrash, Rabbi Akiva was Darish, and he sees his Talmidim bikesh lehisnam name. They weren't dozing yet, but they were giving the look. You know the look, where you're about to go. You know, where like one eye starts, haze, and they're nodding. They're nodding to try to keep yourself up, but there's no way. You can't give it more than 30 seconds. You'll be out. So Rabbi Akiva wants to keep them up. So Rabbi Akiva to ask them the following question: why was Sarah Zaycha to rule over 127 Medinas? 127 Medinas, that's a big zechiyah. It's a big privilege. Esther, right. That's also part of keeping people, all right? Esther, why was she Zaycha to rule over 127 Medinas? In the zechus of Sarah Imenu, who lived 127 righteous years. Question is, that was the most exciting thing Rabbi Akiva could come up with to keep his Talmidim up? And if I was tired, and the Rebbe started off the Shiur, why was Esther Zoicha to rule over 127 Medinas? I would be out cold immediately. I mean, what's so interesting about that? 127, just the number alone is enough to put you to sleep. What's so interesting about why was Esther Zoicha to rule over 127 Medinas? Says the Chidush HaRim says a beautiful verse. He says, if you think about it, in the merit of Sarah living 127 righteous years, Esther ruled over 127 countries. So that means in the merit of every month of her life, let's say, she ruled over another state, right? If for every year Esther was a country, so for every month, probably Esther ruled over a state. And for every day that she lived, she probably ruled over an entire city. And for every hour she lived, Esther was zocha to another borough. And for every minute, she ruled over a whole city. And for every second, she ruled over a whole village. Look how valuable every second is. For 1 second of the life of Sarah, Esther ruled over a whole village. Talmidim, if you fall asleep, you're going to lose out of a second of learning. You know how valuable every second is? That was the lesson that Rabbi Akiva was trying to teach his Talmidim. Look how valuable a moment is. Look how valuable a second is. Look what you could accomplish in 1 second. If in this chus of 1 year, Esther ruled over an entire country, look what she probably accomplished with every single second of her life. If you look in Parshas Bereshis, when it talks about on the 4th day of creation, it says, V'yu l'ma'oros b'rkiah hashamayim. They're going to be luminaries. So if I were to ask you, what is the main purpose of the sun? Right? What would you say? What's the main purpose of the sun? Light. Lahayer. Light. You ask any, take a poll. Stand on Main Street and, ask, sir, what do you say the purpose of the sun is? Again, 99 out of 100 will say light. But you know what? That's not what the Torah says. The Torah says, "V'hayu l'ma'aretz b'kei hashamayim, lehavdil bein hayom u'bein halayla." V'hayu, you want to pass Chumash? Look, that's not what the Torah says. The Torah says, on the 4th day of creation, Pasuk Tez Zayin, and v'hayu l'ma'aretz b'kei hashamayim, Lahavdil ben hayom uven halayla. V'hayu l'ma'oros b'rkiah hashamayim lahoyer al haaretz. Very interesting. In Pasuk Yadalit it says, what's the purpose of the light? Lahavdil ben hayom uven halayla. And in the very next Pasuk it says, in Pasuk Tezvav, V'hayu l'ma'oros, says Rashi, besides the fact that it divides between day and night, by the way, as second thought is, Oid zois yashamshu she'iru l'olam. Another function it serves is that it will bring light to the world. Very interesting. So in the eyes of the Chumash, what's the main function of the sun? To separate between day and night. And by the way, it also gives light. Light is a secondary purpose of the sun. It says of Simcha Wasserman, you know what you see from here? What's the main purpose of the sun? The main purpose of the sun is day and night. Time. Minutes. Seconds. It's a clock. Why is that the main purpose of the sun? Because before you can have light, you need life. What is life? Life is time. So the main function of the sun is a minute passed, a minute passed, a minute passed. And once that minute passed, you never get it back. That's the main purpose of the sun. The main purpose of the sun is to know time. It's very interesting. You know, when Yaina's on the ship, so there's a big storm, and they want to know, B'shalmi ha'hara hazois, why is this happening? So finally, Yaina's sleeping, Malacha nirdam, why are you sleeping? They bring him up. Finally, they cast lots. It falls out on Yaina. And what does Yaina say? Sa'uni v'hatiluni alayam. Pick me up, throw me into the sea. And everybody asks, why? There's an extra word in the pasuk. It should say, v'hatiluni alayam. Throw me into the sea. Vasepis. Sa'uni, pick me up. And then v'hatiluni alayam. Just throw me in. Right now, if you're a pitcher, you throw the ball. You know what it says? Pick up the ball and then throw it. Says Rabbi Chasman. Yaina knew his end was coming, but if he could spare one more second of life, one more moment, Sauni, I'll have one extra second. Yafa sha'achas tshuva masam tovim ba'olam hazeh mikol chayei olam haba. Yaina wanted to spare one more second of life. You know, in the Mishnah Masechta Yuma of Mefakchen Olav Sagal, right? The Mishnah says that on Shabbos, if avalanche, if something, a building collapsed on somebody, the halacha is you're allowed to be Mechalo Shabbos in order to uncover the person on Shabbos. Says the Meiri, what if you see the person is alive? So of course you're allowed to uncover him on Shabbos. If he's dead, you can't uncover him on Shabbos. You can't be Mechalo Shabbos to uncover someone who's dead, but if he's alive, you could uncover him. Says the Meiri, what if you see that he's alive, but he's only going to live for 1 second? So you're not really saving a life. You're just prolonging his life for one moment. You're allowed to be Mechalo Shabbos, or you're not allowed to be Mechalo Shabbos? You're allowed to be Mechalo Shabbos. Says Meiri, why are you allowed to be Mechalo Shabbos? Even though you're absolutely certain he can't live. Could be in one moment, he'll do tshuva in his heart. The value of one moment, value of 1 second. It's very interesting. There's a famous statement from Reb Simcha Zisel. Reb Simcha Zisel once said that it was kedai for Hashem to create the world for 6,000 years so that one Jew, one time, could get up, stand up, and answer, Baruch Hu Uvarach Shemai. It was kedai for God to create all of creation for one Jew to answer one time, Baruch Hu Uvarach Shemai. He said, but even more than that, Baruch Hu Uvarach Shemai, you answer it, you get Gan Eden, you get Olam Haba. But even greater than Baruch Hu Uvarach Shemai, if you answer one Amen is the equivalent of 1,000 Baruch Hu Uvarach Shemai. So as great as Baruch Hu Uvarach, look how great Baruch Hu Uvarach Shemai is. It was kedai for God to create the entire world so that one Jew, one time could answer Baruch Hu Uvarach Shemai. Amen is 1,000 times greater than that. And even greater than Amen, if you answer Amen Yehishmei Rabbah one time, it's 1,000 times greater than Amen. And then he said, but it doesn't stop there. One word of Torah is 1,000 times greater than Amen Yehishmei Rabbah. So it comes out, Amen, that one word of learning is 1 billion times greater than Baruch Hu Uvarach Shemai. So look what you could do with 1 second. With 1 second, you could learn one word of Torah. Now, it's interesting, in 1 minute of time, the Chavetz Chaim made a calculation, you could learn 200 words of Torah in 1 minute. Each word is 1 billion times the value of Baruch Hu Uvarach Shemai. How valuable is Baruch Hu Uvarach Shemai? It was kedai for the Rebbeinu Shalom to create the whole world so that one Jew could answer one time Baruch Hu Uvarach Shemai. Okay, so that's Shnei Chayei Sarah. That was what the message of Rabbi Akiva. That if Sarah, in the merit of each year of her life, Esther was zocha to another country, in the merit of one moment of her life, Esther was zocha to rule over a village. You see the Chashivas Hazman, the value of time.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.